A terrific week for Lamar basketball. 2 wins have the Cardinals moving closer to reserving a spot in the Southland Conference tournament. Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Kerr along with head basketball coach Tick Price. And, Coach, it was a good week, but I'm sure what I'll hear you say is there's still work to be done. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, totally. Everyone is jockeying for position in the standings right now. We're going down the home stretch, and every win puts you in a pretty good position. And so at this point, you got to play with every fiber of your being if you want to get in the tournament and perhaps springboard that into the NCAA tournament.
And you've been so close to that cutoff mark, for much of this conference season that now that you're beginning to make a little bit of run, you got to feel a little bit better about this basketball team. It's always better to get hot in late February than early January, right?
Yeah, they say it's not how you start, but how you finish. You got to get off. You got to have a strong finish, close it out strong, perhaps get some momentum. Players need to get some confidence. And going into the Southland Conference tournament is anybody's game to win. You certainly have got to be on top of your game for sure.
And you have to play them as they come on the schedule. That was the case with Incarnate Word. The Cardinals having a very tough season this year, but Coach, they were looking to avenge a loss that you guys put on them in San Antonio, and this one really was never in doubt.
Well, one thing for sure, one of the Cardinals is going to win.
That's right.
So
that's true. Better be your Cardinals,
yeah,
right?
but that was their whole point. When we played in San Antonio, we had to go against the elements. It was real bad weather. We had to go on a snowboard or ice board to get there. But Nick Goff had a tremendous game. He came off the bench and got us 19 points. Zory Bosha got us a double-double with 15 and 11. Points in the paint, we doubled the numbers, 36 to 18. And we held them to 27% from the field.
And also your bench play was excellent too. 39 to 12, your bench players outscored the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, we need that. And that's why Nick comes off the bench. He helped give us that energy when he knocks down a couple threes. He's beginning to come into his own. He's shooting it with a lot of confidence. There's Zory Bosha knocking down the spot up three. That was a good inside-out possession right there. Nick Goff penetrating pitch back to George Frenchwood. Very unselfish basketball in that particular game. We ended up getting close to 20 assists. So that was a good night for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, and you look what you shot in the second half, 49% to Incarnate Word's 27%. You're going to win a basketball game like that. So.
Well, we took high percentage shots. We executed. We're very disciplined until we got the shot that we wanted. That always helps the percentages. We're big on percentage. We're big on trying to make sure we take care of the ball and possessions. There's Nick Goff again. He's got the rhythm right now.
And you can tell when it leaves his hand if it's going in or not, usually with him.
Yeah, even a miss sometimes looks like it's good.
Yeah.
But once he gets in rhythm, he's pretty tough to stop.
He's fun to watch. All right, our final score, Lamar wins it over Incarnate Word by a score of 85 to 62. Nick Garth, as you mentioned, led the way for the Cardinals with 19 points. Nick, 5 of 7 three-point land. Josh and Zecor finished with 16.7 rebounds. LU improved to 8 and 6 in the Southland Conference.
Well, we got to continue to put together W's. That's what this whole thing is about this time of year. No team is going to roll over. You're going to take a team's best punch. Obviously, we've got to make sure we keep punching as well. We've got to take the initial punch and keep punching. But it comes down to teams knowing that this is not a pillow fight. This is for real here.
Right.
And this is not shadow boxing either. These two teams are throwing blows at each other. And the toughest team, the strongest survive. That's what it comes down to.
All right, Coach, you're going to like our Howell Furniture trivia question for this week. I think you're really going to like this. But I have to disqualify you, though, from answering it, okay?
Okay.
Which 2 universities did Coach Price attend and play for?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Takes you back a few years, right?
Yeah, that was so long ago, I forgot.
That's how I feel about my college, too. It's like, okay, I'm trying to remember 21, 22, 23, but whatever. We'll get back to that at the end of the show. And, again, you are disqualified. Nothing. No prize for you.
I'd like to know who could answer that question.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you never know who knows a little bit about you out there, right?
You never know.
That's exactly right. for good or bad, right? Before we go to break now, let's go to our Kinzel Toyota social media question of the week. What made you fall in love with basketball? This is coming from John Gianardi, who by Facebook, he's out of Beaumont. So what made you fall in love with basketball?
Well, where I lived, you played all the sports. You played football during football season, baseball during baseball season, basketball during basketball season. But as I started growing, I started dominating play. And then I started playing with the bigger guys, and they would knock me down. And I'd come home with my knees bloody, my nose bloody. And my dad looked at me and said, "You're going back again tomorrow." And I started getting confidence. And as I gotten bigger and bigger, I started throwing the blows. And then I fell in love with basketball. It was a little bit easier as I got bigger and grew up. It was a sport that I really loved. But at that time, growing up, baseball was my favorite sport. Football was probably my least favorite because this guy hit me so hard, Greg, I was like, nah, this is not me. So I ended up going out there. And plus, I like playing in the air condition. That's more like me.
Absolutely. All it takes is one slobber knocker and you're done, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I fully understand. I quit football after 9th grade. I'm the same as you. When we come back, the final home game for Lamar and a special send-off for Cardinals seniors when we come back.
Lamar University basketball with Coach Dick Price. Brought to you by Provost Humphrey Law Firm, ExxonMobil, Kinzel Toyota, Howell Furniture, Bob Wortham, Raymond James Financial, and Susan and Roger McCurry.
This is electricity. This is a power plant. This is Tim Barkholtz.
That's me.
This is something he's researching at ExxonMobil, using fuel cells to capture carbon emissions at power plants.
This is the potential.
Reducing CO2 emissions by up to 90%, while also producing more power.
This could be big.
Energy lives here.
Provost Humphrey has spent over 45 years fighting for those suffering from diseases caused by benzene and related chemicals. Today, we continue those efforts by representing workers in the oil, maritime, and shipping industries.
Companies have known for decades that benzene exposure can cause leukemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, and other blood cancers.
Our firm has the assets, resources, and knowledge to stand head-to-head with industry and get you answers and the justice you deserve.
Provost Humphrey, hard-working lawyers for hard-working people.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our Lamar Cardinals. Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards!
He's a winning basketball coach. She's a winning business owner.
Glad to have you on board.
Howell Furniture is excited to be a sponsor for Lamar basketball.
Together they form a winning team. Lamar men's basketball and Howell Furniture. Two great teams now together.
We work together as a team.
And so do we.
We have layups.
And so do we.
We help our community.
And so do we.
Howell Furniture is a proud sponsor of Lamar basketball.
Go Cards!
It happens every year in college athletics. Senior night, this time around for Lamar basketball. A happy home ending for Cardinal seniors, Coach.
It was, you know, on senior day, so much is going on. Your family is coming in town. You hadn't seen your mom and dad in a while. You get some of those distractions. People want tickets. Part of your family want to be there. You get caught up into the moment of senior day. And then you get hyped because you want to finish that last game, the last game before you lace them up on the Montaigne, in the Montaigne Center. You want to go out a winner. And all your teammates want to win it for the seniors giving that extra boost. And then they throw it up, and then here it comes. You have a little bit delay in your performance because you're so hyped. But I really love these seniors. They took a chance and came with us when the program was really down, and they wanted to make a difference, and they have helped change the culture. They have had their moments. Zori Bosher came in when we were under low,
Right.
and he wanted to be a part of helping Lamar change the culture. And
he was your first recruit, wasn't he?
He was the first guy to decide he wanted to come.
Right.
He went from an offensive juggernaut to a defensive specialist.
Right.
We saw him as he evolved from a freshman to a senior. Colton Weisbrod was a junior college All-American. Decided he wanted to come and be a part of, help Lamar be a contender in the Southland Conference. George Frenchwood decided he wanted to transfer here from junior college, so is Torrey Noel. James Harrison was a one-year guy who set out a year, paid his way, just want to be a part of what we're doing, as well as Deshaun Robinson. He came in, transferred from Louisiana Tech, a fifth-year guy, had been injured pretty much his whole career. So all of these guys came together and really has helped our program take that next step. It's been a process. We're doing it the right way, and we're very pleased that these guys and their parents took a chance on being a part of Lamar basketball.
All right, let's take a look at the home season-ending game against Corpus Christi, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the Islanders coming into town, Coach. And this is a team that got off to kind of a slow start, but they've gained a little bit of steam and played some tough games, lost some tough games, but there's a chance for you guys to move ahead and get a win on the home floor.
Well, Corpus Christi record certainly is not an indication of how good they are. They've installed a couple new sets. They'll spread you out, and they'll go one-on-one. If you try to help or double the ball, they kick to open shooters in corners. They really have done a good job. Wilson has done a good job in terms of having his kids play. They were on the outside looking in, so they really needed this win, and they played hungry. I thought our guys kind of was a little bit laid back in our attack. We wasn't in attack mode, but the second half, well, late in the first half, we picked up a little steam, but the second half, we really settled in and got a little bit more focused than where we should have been from the beginning. We didn't have a good start, but at the end, we closed it the way we needed. George Frenchwood ended up playing like 28 minutes, had 12 points, 8 assists, and no turnovers. That's a good floor game.
Absolutely, and you guys shot almost, 65% in the second half. That's blistering, but so did Corpus. They shot nearly 60%, so that was quite the offensive exhibition there in that second half.
Yeah, it was. You know, we got in transition a few times. I don't know how Colton Weisbrod just made that shot. He had a nice spin on the glass, but we got going. Of course, Nick Garth came off the bench and got us 22 points. That got us going, but there's George Frenchwood, who made a nice move as well, nice step back jumper. These guys turned it on when we needed to. It's a nice lob inbound pass to Josh and Zecor. So, you know, I thought everybody made a concerted effort to make sure we closed this game and got a W.
And you did, in fact. Final Lamar turns a 3-point halftime deficit into a 3-point win. Another big night for Nick Garth, who isn't a senior for you, Coach. He had 22 points. Colton Weisbrod pitched in 14. Joey Frenchwood, the two seniors, in that game right there, he's 14 and 12 respectively. Lamar shot nearly 54% in that second half, and Lamar goes on to win it and go to 9 and 6 in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, well, with every opportunity comes opposition. We've been having that all year. We know that. But our guys, you know, people think we're a veteran team because we got older guys, but we really only have played together a year. This is our second year playing together, but I think our guys do understand seizing the moment, staying in the moment, and making sure that we stay locked in. They knew the scouting report. Assistant coaches have an opponent that they scout, And at the end of the day, though, I thought our guys make plays when they needed to.
Absolutely. Well, time again now to name this week's Provost Umphrey Player of the Week, and we'll check out who that is. This week, it's an easy pick. Our Provost Umphrey Player of the Week is junior guard Nick Garth. Nick goes for 19 against Incarnate Word, 22 more in the win over Corpus. Garth, 7 of 12 from behind the arc. Nick Garth, the Provost Umphrey Player of the Week. And when he's got it going, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I often tell people Nick is the most prolific shooter in the conference. But he's added a little bit more dimension. He's got a one dribble pull up now when people are running at him. He'll ball fake and go around and pull up for the jumper. Even now he's trying to drive, get in the creases of the defense, and he's finishing some around the rim. So he's gotten better and better and has become more than just a catch and shoot player.
All right, time now to look at the Southland Conference standings. Again, it is Nichols continuing to be the team to beat, possibly. The Colonels have won 12 of 14 in conference. Southeastern Louisiana not far behind. SFA still in the mix. Lamar with 2 straight wins in that number 6 spot, Coach. So you're right there.
Well, it's not much difference between 1 and 6, except for, of course, we lost a few more games, but all the people that's above us, we either have beaten or we've lost in overtime or in a very close game.
Okay, when we come back on the basketball show with Tick Price, we'll visit with assistant coach Justin Bailey. Stick around.
I'm Bob Worthen, your district attorney and a Lamar graduate. Basketball and law enforcement have a lot in common. To have a winning basketball program, all players must work together. To have a safe and successful community, all citizens must work with law enforcement. If you witness a crime, report your facts immediately. If you receive a jury summons, don't look for a way out. Take the opportunity to serve. Let your voice be heard. Let's all work together for a safe Jefferson County.
Hey Lamar basketball fans, how would you like a free car wash? When the Cardinals win this week, you also win. Bring your ticket stub from a winning game to Kinsel Toyota before the Cardinals' next home game and receive a free car wash. When the Cardinals win this week, you win a free car wash from Kinsel Toyota, a proud supporter of Lamar basketball. Kinsel Toyota and Lamar basketball, a winning combination. Let's go Cardinals.
2 powerful teams are now one. Lamar men's basketball and Howell Furniture, a winning combination. Howell Furniture is a proud sponsor of Lamar University basketball with Coach Tick Price. Go Cards!
Our first guest tonight on the Lamar Basketball Show, Lamar assistant coach Justin Bailey, who's now in his 2nd year with head coach Tick Price. Justin, thanks for being here.
I would love to be here.
So this is your 2nd season with Coach. As an assistant, what is your responsibility for practice days and also for game days? What kind of responsibilities does Coach put on you?
Well, my first responsibility and job is to make sure Coach Price's job is way easier.
Right.
But the most important thing for our program, of course, is recruiting. And we got to make sure we continue to bring in really good basketball players, but as well as really good kids. But day-to-day responsibilities in the office, of course, make recruiting calls, check classes, make sure practice is ready to go. I mean, we have staff meetings, make sure we're all on the same page. Just getting these guys ready. Make sure I bring energy every day in practice and just have these guys ready to go so we can get better.
Is part of your responsibility, you talked about classes, I mean, you're kind of keep an eye on them academically to make sure they're where they need to be, when they need to be?
Definitely. We all have what we call academic guys. We kind of break up the roster between the 3 assistant coaches. And so we have 3 or 4 guys that we got to make sure that are handling their responsibilities in the classroom. We know when their tests are, we know what papers coming up, what grades they may have in the classes, just to make sure they're handling their business.
When you go on the road to recruit, obviously it's a different type of situation during the season, I would guess, and then following the season, what do? Hit the AAU trail, and
yes,
how's that work?
There's 2 live periods, is what they call it. There's one in April and there's one in July. After the season, we're still able to go to high school events or high school games. Here in March, of course, the state tournaments and the playoffs are starting right now. And once our season is done, we'll probably hit a couple of those. And once April comes, we'll be on the road for the AAU events that you just spoke about.
You like recruiting?
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
They say it's such a beatdown. I guess when you get older, maybe it's more of a beatdown.
Maybe. I just like the challenge. I like to hey, I'm going to beat you out for this kid right here. And that's what motivates me and keeps me going.
And I'm sure Coach Price really appreciates that too, because you've got to have that kind of mentality and that kind of wherewithal to do that, because it is a competition.
Definitely. I mean, I'm a competitive guy too. That's why I played the game of basketball, and I just carried it on over to when I became a coach.
All right, Justin, thanks so much. Continue the good work.
I appreciate it.
When we come back, we'll chat with Lamar freshman Cannon Broussard. You're watching the Lamar Cardinal basketball show with head coach Dick Price.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our Lamar Cardinals. Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards!
He's a winning basketball coach. She's a winning business owner.
Glad to have you on board.
Howell Furniture is excited to be a sponsor for Lamar basketball.
Together they form a winning team. Lamar Men's Basketball and Howell Furniture. 2 great teams now together.
We work together as a team.
And so do we.
We have layups.
And so do we.
We help our community.
And so do we.
Howell Furniture is a proud sponsor of Lamar basketball.
Go Cards!
Cannon Broussard is a freshman guard out of Beaumont Kelly, and he is with us right now on the Tick Price Show. Welcome.
Hi, it's nice to be on here.
Yeah, sure. Is this your television debut? Have you done television before?
I've done it once or twice with Kelly. I've done a few interviews, but that's about it.
Yeah, this is for a somewhat live television first time?
Yes, sir.
All right, were you a little bit nervous coming in, or did Coach Price settle you down a little bit?
It was I'm a little nervous, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. So how would you kind of rate your freshman year? Not just basketball, but also being in the class and getting into the whole college scene.
It's totally different than high school. You got way more responsibilities, I'd say, and you just got to learn how to balance it out and just stay on top of your work and do right in practice.
Now, you grew up in Nederland. You wound up going to Kelly, your last 2 or 3 years of high school?
Yes, sir.
You made that jump from public school to private school. Was that a difficult transition at all?
No, it really was the same, I'd say. The academics was a little bit more challenging, but everything else was just about the same.
Yeah, so you decided to walk on at Lamar, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a chance to play any D3, D2 schools?
Yes, sir. I could have played a couple of D3 and some JUCOs, but the dream was to play D1, so.
Yeah, and I know you can jump. I've seen you get up off the floor.
Yes, sir.
So how old were you when you first dunked?
Ninth grade.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I was really excited about that. I remember telling all my friends, I'm going to dunk one day. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I just worked. And one day I just went and dunked it.
Yeah, was it one hand or two? Do you remember?
Honestly, I think the first time I dunked it was like a little weak one hand, and it was probably barely over the rim, but everybody in the gym was probably super excited running around just because.
Yeah, but once you do it once, you know you can do it again, so that's what makes it even more thrilling, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cannon, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yes,
Good job. Way to go on your television debut. Nice job. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll answer our Howell Furniture trivia question and preview upcoming Lamar games.
This is electricity. This is a power plant. This is Tim Barkholtz.
That's me.
This is something he's researching at ExxonMobil, using fuel cells to capture carbon emissions at power plants.
This is the potential.
Reducing CO2 emissions by up to 90%, while also producing more power.
This could be big.
Energy lives here.
Provost Humphrey has spent over 45 years fighting for those suffering from diseases caused by benzene and related chemicals. Today, we continue those efforts by representing workers in the oil, maritime, and shipping industries.
Companies have known for decades that benzene exposure can cause leukemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, and other blood cancers.
Our firm has the assets, resources, and knowledge to stand head-to-head with industry and get you answers and the justice you deserve.
Provost Humphrey, hard-working lawyers for hard-working people.
Hey Lamar basketball fans, how would you like a free car wash? When the Cardinals win this week, you also win. Bring your ticket stub from a winning game to Kinsel Toyota before the Cardinals' next home game and receive a free car wash. When the Cardinals win this week, you win a free car wash from Kinsel Toyota, a proud supporter of Lamar basketball. Kinsel Toyota and Lamar basketball, a winning combination. Let's go Cardinals.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our Lamar Cardinals. Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards!
All right, Coach, you ready to answer the Howell Furniture trivia question for the night?
Yeah, what was that question?
This question was, and you know all about it. If anybody knows about it, you do.
I would think.
Which two universities did you attend and play for?
I don't know who asked that question, but I guess they think I'm old and senile or something. But
I came up with it. I'm sorry. No, I would never think that. You know that.
Okay, I played at 2 years at Virginia Commonwealth University, known as VCU, and then I transferred and played at Virginia Tech. So I played at those two universities. Had a great experience. I matured. At the end of the day, I thought I got a good education, but as a young man leaving a small town, Danville, Virginia, and going on and being on TV and traveling, that was the greatest experience in the world, and learning the game of basketball. I picked up a lot, playing with some great guys, and it's an experience I'll never forget.
Oh yeah, and you're a Ram and a Hokie. All right, very quickly, about 20 seconds left. You finish out at SFA and McNeese, Coach.
Yeah, both tough venues to play in. We certainly have got to have some toughness, and we've got to play with a lot of passion, energy, and effort. And
got to finish in the top 8. All right, we appreciate you watching this edition of Lamar Basketball with head coach Tick Price.
Sounds good.
We'll see you again next week, Coach.
Pack 'em.
Lamar University Basketball with Coach Tick Price. Brought to you by Provost Humphrey Law Firm, ExxonMobil, Kinsel Toyota, Howell Furniture, Bob Wortham, Raymond James Financial, and Susan and Roger McCurry.